Good morning, everyone. We are back with more Barnstable this morning. 20 minutes now toward the top of the hour. It is Friday. It is snowy out there. Of course, it's January. What do you expect? It is time now for our sports segment. Len Gobiel joins us at this time each and every Friday morning to fill us in on the wide world of sports here in the town of Barnstable. This week, he chats with the track coach over at Barnstable High School, Dan Henson, about winter track and all the things that entails. So let us go to our sports segment today here on Barnstable This Morning.
Thank you, and good morning. On the line with us this morning is Dan Henson. Dan is the boys track coach at Barnstable High School with another little addition, a little kink that we'll tell you about here in just a minute. Good morning, Dan.
Good morning.
Welcome to Barnstable This Morning. How's the track team, how's the boys track team going this year?
Well, things are looking pretty good. We're gearing up for our conference championship next week. And things are looking bright for, I don't know, probably one of our best showings in a while.
The spring boys track team has a lot of, obviously, outdoor events because it's the springtime, and in the winter we transfer to indoor track. What events are held in the winter track program?
Sure, things are a little shorter, I guess, for the inside because of the confines of the space. But basically there are 7 individual races, 3 relays, and 3 field events. Starting from short to long, we have the 55-meter dash, and to go with the dash, we have the 55-meter hurdle. Now, there are different sizes for the guys. For the guys, it's 39 inches. There are 5 of them that have to cover in that 55-meter span. Then it jumps all the way up to the 300, which just seems a little odd because the spring you go from the 100 to the 200.
Yep.
And then there's the 600-meter dash, the 1,000. Then we get to the mid-distance for the 1 mile and the 2 mile. And those are the 7 individual races. And the relays, we have the 4x200 meters, the 4x400, and then in the conference championships, we have the 4x800 meters. So that those are the running events.
You obviously represent Barnstable High School, but where is the indoor track at Barnstable High School?
Our indoor track is, we run in the field house, so right after school. So we get that part. So we're limited to about 30 meters of actual sprinting space, and then we have the curve. So our mid-distance guys have to bundle up and have to go outside when the weather is appropriate. And then when it's nice, the sprinter will even go outside. But I have a cutoff about temperature about 40 degrees before we'll go out and we'll work on the outdoor track.
Yeah, yeah. And the field events are held indoors?
Field events are indoors. Those are, the shot put, the long jump, and the high jump. We don't do the triple jump indoors as we do in the outdoors.
You need a little sand for that, don't you?
Well, I tell you, with winter track, it's not a secret for the coaches to know that you got to be a little bit creative. We use some mats and things like that we jump on. The high jump mats alternate as the long jump mats. So
yeah,
so that's what we do.
Yeah. Now I'm not too terribly familiar because I've been out of high school for a long time. In terms of the events, do you do all the running events and get that out of the way, or are people running while you're doing some of the field events too?
Yeah, we have our meets are held at the Reggie Lewis Center up in Roxbury and at Wheaton College. So just about every Friday, the team heads up and that's where we go. But it's kind of like going to a circus. So you have this building, and it's all surrounded by a 200-meter indoor track, and in the center of it is where they set up the sprint. So the guys have to start from one end of the track, and they got to sprint to the other, and they have to stop before they run on the track while the mid-distance guys are running. And then they have a cage off a protected area for the shot putters, and then they alternate when they can do the high jump to when they can do the sprints. So it's really busy, it's really fast. And the first time that you would go to a meet, you would be like, wow, what's going on here? But it's pretty good.
How do you keep track of, pardon the pun, how do you keep track of where all your athletes are and what times they have to start and where they should be?
The first meet, it's a little hectic, but after that, we get in a routine. I got a great assistant coach, Mike Merrill. He helps with the mid-distance. So basically, all of the athletes know in order of event when they take place and where they have to start. So not everybody starts at the same place. Most of the people finish at the same spot. And so then it's just a matter of we'll post the times, we'll post events. They know they need to be there. And they'll also say over the loudspeaker, you got to check in for this event, in the next 5 minutes. So the officials are pretty good. They help out in that respect.
Sure, sure. Now, in football and basketball and baseball, well, let's just take baseball as an example. Between pitches, the coach is allowed to yell and scream at his infielders or his pitchers or his catchers and say, move outside, move inside, watch this, watch that, go over there, go over there. In track, it's a little different, isn't it? You can't be giving directions to your athletes as they're actually doing their events.
Actually, we get pretty good at knowing where to stand. We're not allowed to be on the middle of the field, so we have to stand back off the side and the outside of the track in a roped-off area. Say, for instance, when our athletes are doing the long jump, I'll stand. I probably have to yell all the way across the track, so as runners are coming by, that kind of makes it hectic. But I'll give them some pointers. I'll say, you need to back up a little bit. You need to, whatever adjustment that we need to make with that. So, and then, it's the same with the sprinters. Obviously, with the 55, there's no margin of error. It's hundreds of seconds. They either, we do video recording, and then we talk about afterwards, what they might improve on, and we take that into the practice area. But what we manage, we're able to yell out, relax the shoulders, move the arms. If they're running the mile, 2 mile, those guys kind of tighten up a little bit as they're running and when it gets competitive. So we're able to give the little one-liners, I guess, and the athletes are kind of used to gauging in what we're going to say.
Yeah, and I suppose that by the time a kid is a junior or senior, he gets to know the sound of your voice and gets to know where he should be and it kind of knows and kind of looks for it, too, I would imagine.
Yeah, I've had to develop over the years the ability to project my voice. A lot of people might misinterpret that as, oh, Coach Henson is angry. It's like, no, I'm just trying to yell over the crowd. So.
Danny, how long have you been coaching over there?
This is my second season coaching as the winter track. I've coached 2 seasons in spring and then 1 season in the fall as the head coach for cross country.
Yep.
So,
yep. And what's your background? Where are you from?
I'm originally from Indiana. I was in the military as a survival instructor, and I graduated from Bentley College, now Bentley University, with a accounting degree. And then I got into sports because I run and I lift myself, so I still compete.
Oh, good. Good for you. Tell me, please, about some of the, I'm not going to use the word star because they're all stars, but tell me a little bit about some of the athletes that you have in terms of the track events. Who are the boys that are doing well?
Right. First of all, it's difficult when we get the 8th graders and 9th graders that show up for those athletes to really be stars, and it's kind of difficult for them because they're competing with athletes that have trained for 3 and 4 years. So most of them will be our upper level guys, and I kind of have it broken down to sprints. Ben Henson, he's pretty much he has some of the outdoor sprinting records actually at Barnstable.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, it's a family affair in some respects. And so he's pretty much undefeated in the 55. He's qualified for the Division I states, and this is his final year, and he's going to be off to the Citadel running track for them.
Now that's a pretty heavy program.
Yeah, he's excited about it. He's been sprinting for a number of years, and he's technically sound, and he's good to go.
As somebody who knows him probably pretty well, is he ready for what goes on at the Citadel University? Outside of track events, I mean?
Oh, yeah. Ben, obviously because I know him, he's my son. He's an Eagle Scout, and he's basically just a natural-born leader. He's the captain of the team, and I don't think there's going to be any problem at all. He was interested in a career in police, like the state police and whatnot. So this is a way for him to have his college paid for with an ROTC scholarship and things of that nature, and he's going to go into like the military police, and so no, he's definitely up for it, and that's kind of what he likes.
Good for him. Who else do you have on your team?
Beyond the sprints, as I mentioned before, we have another senior, Matt Lounsbury, for the 300. He gets us a score every time, either a first place or a second place, which he competes with actually a 10th grader, Chris Gannon. And both of those are right at the level of qualifying for states. They qualified last year, so at least Matt did. And they always get us some points in the dual meets. Tom Cunningham in the mile, he was our star, our top finisher on average in our cross country, and he's running the mile for us this year. And he's right there on the edge of qualifying for the state tournament. In the 2 mile, we have Paul Caparella. I believe he's undefeated this season, and he's doing real well. And so those basically are upper level the guys that are scoring the most points for us.
At the beginning of our interview this morning, I did a little tease about the something else that you do besides boys track. We have about a minute left, and I hate to do this to you, but tell me about how you work with the girls track team as well, please.
Yeah, I'm basically I specialize in the sprint, so we'll work with all the guys and the girls, and we weight train. It's a big part of what we do, and we fortunately have pretty much a star athlete there who is our best athlete in track, and every race she's run, she basically sets the new Barnstable record, and that's Amanda Henson. So unfortunately, she's qualified for states and nationals, and so that's pretty exciting as well. So.
And wait a minute now, did you say Henson?
I did.
So you're coaching your son and your daughter. That's got to be pretty good.
Well, it is. It certainly makes it all worthwhile for me. I'm excited to go to practice every day, and I got my finger on the pulse of exactly what's going on and where we need to be. So, but it's exciting and I enjoy it.
What's your next event for this week or next week?
It's the OCL Championship as far as the team goes. That'll be held at Reggie Lewis on Monday. Coming up the next Monday.
21st. The 21st.
Sure, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, listen.
That day.
I want to thank you so much for joining us on Barnstable this morning here on Channel 18, and good luck with the Henson family, and keep that record going and do well.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Okay. Thanks for your time.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Dan Henson, the track coach at Barnstable, boys track coach at Barnstable High School. For Barnstable This Morning, I'm Len Gobiel.